In previous units, we created objects from classes in the Java Standard Class Library. We didn't need to know the details of how the objects did their jobs. We simply trusted them to do so. This is one of the advantages of abstraction. Now we are ready to write our own classes. First, let's review the concept of an object and explore it in more detail. Think about objects in the world around you. How would you describe them? Let's use a ball as an example. A ball has a diameter, color, and elasticity. We say the properties that describe an object are called attributes and define the object's state of being. We also describe a ball by what it does, such as the fact that it can be thrown, bounced, or rolled. These are the object's behavior. All objects have a state and a set of behaviors. So do software objects. The value of an object's variables describes the object's state, and the methods define the object's behavior. Consider a computer game that uses a ball. The ball could be represented as an object. It could have variables to store its size and location, and methods that draw it on the screen and calculate how it moves when thrown, bounced, or rolled. The variables and methods defined in the ball object are the state and the behavior of the ball in the computerized ball game. Each object has its own state. Each ball object has a particular location, for instance, which is different from the location of all other balls. Behaviors, though, tend to apply to all the objects of a particular type. For example, any ball can be thrown, bounced, or rolled. The act of rolling a ball is generally the same for all balls. The state of an object and the object's behaviors work together. How high a ball bounces depends on its elasticity. A basketball will bounce higher than, say, a golf ball. The action is the same, but the result depends on the particular object's state. An object's behavior often changes its state. For example, when a ball is rolled, its location changes. Any object can be described in terms of its state and behavior. Let's look at another example. In software that is used to manage a school, a student could be represented as an object. The collection of all objects represents the entire student body at the school. Each student has a state. That is, each student object will contain the variables that store information about a particular student, such as name, address, courses taken, grades, and grade point average. A student object also has behaviors. For example, the class of a student object may contain a method to add a new course. Although software objects often represent physical things like balls and students, they don't have to. For example, an error message can be an object, with its state being the text of the message and behaviors, including printing the error message. A common mistake made by new programmers is to limit the possibilities to physical things.